Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil Sunder Raj for the Everyday Fan Sports. This morning, I'm happy to be speaking with Billy Horn, the manager of the Charleston Dirty Birds baseball team that plays in the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball. Billy, once again, thank you so much for taking time out to speak with me today. I really appreciate it. And congrats, as said, here on managing, again, the Charleston Dirty Birds. I believe your second year here, doing so. And yeah, the season opener in a couple of days on April 28th, Billy.
Oh yeah, very excited, Sunil. Thanks for having me on. I know we talked the other day, and our first conversation, I believe, was 2019
Mm-hmm.
when I was over in High Point. So it's good to see you again, and really look forward. Been looking forward to this chat. And yeah, the season opener Friday. So we're actually leaving on Thursday because we're
Mm-hmm.
opening up in Staten Island, and
Mm-hmm.
8-9 hour bus ride. So it's nice to work for an owner and an organization that understand and get it. Where opening day we're not on a bus at 5 a.m. So we can get up there
Yeah.
in time. So we're really looking forward to it. Very excited about this year's club. A much different dynamic than what we had last year, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously we're hoping it's for the good. So we've got some really good guys. We're a lot younger, going to be a lot more athletic, a lot more power. Hopefully our pitching is going to be just as good or better. We moved a lot of pitchers last year, so we'll see. We got some really good arms and really good dudes. So it's been
Yeah.
great so far. Yeah.
That's terrific. And Billy, just talk about from that first year, what you were able to learn and then carry over into this second year. Can you just talk about that process?
Yeah, one thing that I learned a long time ago when I was in Ottawa, one thing I learned from Hal, and Hal always said, let your coaches coach. And
Mm-hmm.
I really gravitated towards that. And I let Joe Testa, our pitching coach, work with the pitchers. Anthony Coromato, our bench coach, I let him work with the hitters. And,
Mm-hmm.
that really allowed me to do all the other stuff that I have to do. And as
Yeah.
we talked about earlier, when the first pitch comes at 6:35 or 1:05, whatever time the game is that night or that day,
Yeah.
I can finally relax. Because as there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah.
Unlike Major League Baseball, we don't have a scouting department. I mean, you're talking to the scouting department.
Yeah.
It's myself, the coaches, and your players, and obviously we have agents that reach out all the time. We get major league releases and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
doing everything from working with the visas, trying to get them approved, get them into the country, housing, the baseball budget,
Yeah.
ordering the bats, the equipment, working hand in hand with our clubhouse manager, working hand in hand with our trainer. Those are just some of the things. Working hand in hand with our front office.
Mm-hmm.
Those are just some of the things that that I go through on a daily basis, and that's during the season, that's in the off season. And I got up here 10 or 11 days early, and
Mm-hmm.
and we've got a first class setup here. I mean, we're set up at the YMCA where the guys can go work out. It's fantastic, a great setup for the players, so they can go and work out and use the steam room and the sauna and the whirlpool and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
we have a team chiropractor here now that comes in once a week. We have a fantastic trainer, so getting all that stuff set up with the housing and everything like that. So I'm finally excited to start doing some real baseball stuff. So
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, well, I mean, multitasking, a trick of all trades. I mean, that's really what it you're investing in, what it takes here to have a successful organization as well here, Billy.
yeah, last year we moved 6 guys from our club to Major League Baseball or to Mexico, and
Mm-hmm.
there were only 2 players that went from independent baseball to the big leagues last year, and we had one of them.
Yeah.
We had right-handed pitcher Kevin Herget started the season with us, and
Mm-hmm.
career AAA guy at that point in his career, and he put faith in our organization and myself and the coaching staff, and yeah, he got picked up by Tampa Bay. He led the world in ERA. He had he had like a 2-something ERA, very low 2-something ERA, and like he
Mm-hmm.
literally forced their hand to call him up. And this offseason, he was traded to the Reds, and about a week and a half ago or so, he got his first major league win. So
Yeah,
um,
that's
that
great.
was really awesome
Yeah.
to see, and
Yeah.
that's from being in High Point, I think we had 5 or 6 guys make it to the big leagues in my time there, and We had three my 1 year in Long Island, and we had one or two guys from Ottawa. So, being able to get these guys to, get picked up and things of that nature is great. But to have seen 10 or 11 guys go from independent baseball to the big leagues, it's the biggest high you can have on the independent side as a manager or a coach.
Yeah, no doubt about it, just to see how they develop their skills, their fundamentals, while playing for you. And then again, to ascend to that level and be on that, as you said, the biggest stage, Major League Baseball. That's really, again, the peak of the mountain. Hey, wanted to ask you, you mentioned pitching coach Joe Testa, bench coach Anthony Caramado. Wanted to ask you also about front office, owner, CEO Andy Shea.
Yep.
There's partner Tim Wilcox and general manager Jeremy Taylor. Just talk about how pivotal they have been and instrumental, just in terms of again, the structure and just the support for the team.
I'll tell you what, I really love working for Andy because, like, he gets it. He's been in baseball. He's been in minor league baseball for 20 years. So he understands a lot of things that, what we may need. Or, hey, Andy, what are your thoughts on maybe doing this, where it's like, it may not affect us on the field, but it'll affect how we get players in. So we've had a lot of upgrades in the clubhouse. Upgrades obviously around the field itself is turf.
Yeah.
Working with JT's been awesome. JT works his tail off, and we just stay out of each other's way. But I mean, anytime we need anything, we're always going back and forth. And hey, can I get this or get that? And what I love about JT, what a lot of people don't know, he is a fantastic cook.
Okay.
He's already cooked for the team twice during spring training. So so that's one of his little hidden talents. But everybody else in the front office, like, they're all multitaskers themselves, because you see they do their own job, whatever they have to do, but then you see them cleaning up the stadium or helping with ops or whatever the case may be. So it's been really good. And for my perspective, and the last time we spoke, like 4 years ago, whatever it was, I was really gung-ho on trying to, go the affiliated route and get up to the big leagues. And, my mindset has kind of changed a little bit, where, ultimately would I love to coach or manage in the big leagues? Yeah, of course, it's everybody's dream, but I got it really good here. I mean, I got it really good. Andy stays, he lets me do whatever I want with the roster, which is great. There's really very little interference. And of course, it's like, hey, what do you think about this guy or that guy? And, whatever the case may be. But, they let us do what we want here. And the players know that. The players see that. And matter of fact, Andy was just in here, just came in the clubhouse, said what's up to the guys every now and again. Like, guys like to see that. They want to know that they're a name and not just a number. So it's been great so far. Obviously, we didn't have the best year last year from our overall record, but the attendance was up last year. Merchandise sales were up. So, like, little things like that I also have a little bit of a hand in. It all adds up to everything. But at the end of the day, we want to win, and we got a really good club coming in to start this year. And, we're hoping we get off on the right foot, and we just see what happens from there.
Yeah, it's terrific to hear. Hey, before we came on there, Billy, we were talking about that. You're repping, the merchandise, the hat, the sweatshirt, and it pops. I mean, I love that. I mean, I think, for the players and, for the coaches, and then you have the fans in the stands, when, they take that field, they wear that, with, definitely a lot of pride. I'm wondering what the message is, for the team every time they take that field, said again, wearing that jersey, Billy.
Well, there's two things that come to mind. First thing is our last Saturday home game last year, we were out of the playoffs, and, it's college football season, NFL season time. And we had 5,300 people in the stands. Our last Saturday night game of the year. I mean, it was electric. It was a playoff-like atmosphere, which was cool. But, the main important thing is, when we're putting together the team, the most important thing to do is, I call it the rule of three. So basically, let's say you're an agent, you reach out, hey, I got a guy for you. And if I don't know who the guy is, obviously I'll go to my coaching staff or any of the players. And if we don't know who that guy is, how he is off the field and in the clubhouse, we'll reach out to at least three people, whether it's a former manager, former teammate. I like to reach out to the former clubby, a trainer, maybe someone in the front office, because players are always going to be nice to the manager, right? I mean, they're always going to be nice to the coaches. But you really want to find out what kind of guy you're getting. Who are they behind closed doors? Who are they in the community? And, last year and even more so, I think this year, we've got a very special group of guys that are really good. I mean, we've got 8 big leaguers, 8 guys that played in the big leagues, a couple of them as recently as last year. And like, you would never know it. Just super humble, great dudes. We've had a couple of exhibition games here, and they're interacting with the fans and doing interviews, and it's a really good group. And like I said, when the bell rings on Friday night, we'll see how special we become. And, and obviously that comes from, doing the little things right. We've been really harping and honing in on fundamentals during spring training. Base running is a big thing for me. You watch a lot of major league games, base running may be, kind of a little bit of a lost art, but we're trying to remind these guys, to be heads up on the base pass, be aggressive going from first to third or second to home with less than 2 outs. We've been doing a lot of defensive work, cuts, relays, bunt defenses, and things of that nature. So, you know me, but for the audience, I'm very much an old school kind of guy, old school baseball, where, the meat of the order, those guys, we're going to let them hit, the back end of the order. If they're struggling, we may drop down a bunt or something like that, or put some runners in motion, things of that nature. And, obviously trying to produce as many runs as possible. And, on the pitching side, I know we did a really good job bringing in the right guys, because all the guys that we have on our roster right now, from a statistical standpoint, they all have very low career walk totals. And that the old saying, you can't defend a walk. So, if these guys pitch true to form and the way they have, historically in their careers, I think we're gonna be all right. When the season starts on Friday.
Yeah, I think that, small ball, the fine, minute details really add up, as I said, during the course of a season. And if you can, again, be on that level and be able to exceed that and meet those expectations, you definitely have a winning formula. So that really, again, is critical, Billy. Yeah,
we just have to execute. Really, once the first pitch is thrown, there's really not much we can do. Obviously the most important job that I have during the game is managing the bullpen and monitoring the up and downs, monitoring how many times they get hot. For me, a guy gets hot, he's going in the game. I try, when a guy gets a little bit of trouble, my philosophy, let's see if he can get us out of that. They're his numbers, they're his statistics. And you also want to see what your pitcher has in the tank. So, with that, then that creates as many clean innings as possible for your bullpen. So, managing the bullpen during the game, like I said, that's number one. And then obviously, we're going to utilize our roster, pinch running or, defensive replacements or whatever. But at the end of the day, 100% of it, during the game, it's on the guys. They have to perform, and we're very confident. With this group, we got a combination of some speed. We've got a lot of power, but our guys get on base a lot. That was one thing that we talked about, and we need not only guys to get on base, but we got to drive them in. So, from last year, I think we're going to score, more runs than we did last year. And I think we're going to have a lot cleaner defense, especially with the turf. That's definitely going to help. And, our main goal on the pitching side is for our starters to go deeper into games. When we lost all of our starters, we had to build up relievers, and, we took a chance on some guys bringing them in, and, we struggled getting to that 5-inning mark. And, with the double hook rule in this league, it's really imperative that these guys are going at least 5. I want our starters, when they're primed and ready, going 6-7 innings, keep it easy on the bullpen. So, and our guys came in, they're all in shape, knock on wood. Everybody's, pretty healthy right now. And, we just got to keep doing what we're doing and, economize our pitches and try and get through innings, 15, 18 pitches an inning, hopefully less. And giving our offense a chance to score some runs and a chance to win ball games.
Yeah, it's terrific to hear. And hey, you're opening up, I think, first 9 on the road, Billy, before you returned home on May 9th for the home opener against I think it's Lancaster. It is. So that's it's going to be interesting to see how things, really shake out here.
Yeah, starting out on the road is never easy.
Yeah.
We go to Staten Island, then we go to two playoff teams from last year. High Point and
Yeah.
Southern Maryland, and I know Jamie Keefe very well. Obviously,
Yeah.
I know Stan Clyburn very well, and those guys are definitely reloading. So, and that's what I love about this league is, we're going to Staten Island. They're a brand new club. Homer Bush, brand new manager. So, those guys are gearing up, wanting to get a hot start right out of the gate. So, there's no we're going to go here for 3 easy games. No, that doesn't exist in the league. And you look at all the rosters, it's all big league, AAA, AA guys for the most part. And then you have your lesser experienced guys and things of that nature. But it's good baseball. It's good. And I guess my plug for the Atlantic League is it's good, affordable, family fun baseball.
Yeah.
With inflation and how tickets are, and beers and all that stuff are just through the roof. You can bring a family of 4 here for probably way less than $100. And, the kids are entertained, having a good time, and you're also seeing a good product. So I love the Atlantic League. I'm so happy that, I got an opportunity with Long Island and then, with High Point and now here in Charleston. It's so much fun. All the managers, all the coaches, they're all baseball guys. They all get it. They all have feel. And at the end of the day, listen, we're all in this thing to compete and to win and to kick each other's whats. But at the end of the day, we all have a common goal of helping the player. Helping the player, go from here to, affiliated ball and up to the big leagues. Or, you got guys that play in the big leagues or a little bit older and guys that are just hanging on to play so they can continue to play winter ball. So, at the end of the day, we're here for the guys. And again, every day we get an opportunity to put on a uniform and compete and try and win.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hey, I wanted to ask you, you talked about the home crowd, Appalachian Power Park, just the stadium itself, as you said last year, over 5,000 people, 5,300. Just talk about the energy from the home crowd, the community, coming out to support the team. Again, Billy, how, important that is, for this organization.
It's huge. Again, Charleston, West Virginia, we are the only professional sports team in the state. So we're kind of the only attraction. And then during the summer, there's football, college football. There's no college baseball or anything like that, or college basketball. So we're the ticket to town. And, we just had a couple of scrimmage games with the Savannah Bananas 2 nights in a row, and we had over 5,000 fans each night. So I know it was the Bananas event, but it was it was a great opportunity for our fans to really get to know and mingle with our guys. But I tell you, the buzz has been phenomenal. And again, our front office, our ownership group, our social media team, they do a hell of a job promoting, the Dirty Birds and it's Gomart Ballpark now. We just
okay. Yeah, I saw that online. I should have put that in said. Okay, all right.
No, I'm just messing with But so when they know they're coming out to Gomart Ballpark, they know a couple of things. They're going to get a good product, good baseball, obviously good family entertainment, but they're going to meet really good dudes. And that's, for me, again,
high character guys, guys with integrity and Yeah.
And I've been very, 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 very fortunate. The last 10 years, haven't had many major issues. Haven't had any, oh my God, we got to get this guy out of here because of this or that. And that happens, but man, I'd say 98% of the players that I've had the privilege of managing and coaching have been just A+ human beings. Our guys signing autographs before and after games, taking pictures with kids and stuff, going to community events, going to the schools, the hospitals and all that. It's really, really cool. So to have that combination of really good ball players and really good dudes, it makes your job as a manager that much easier to promote that to a major league organization, And again, I don't know how many guys over the last 10 years we've had signed where I've been. It's 60, 70, 80 guys. But it's so easy when you say, hey, Detroit Tigers, or hey, New York Yankees, hey, look at John Smith. The first question is, we know he can play. How is he in the clubhouse? How is he off the field? And I've been very fortunate where it's just great dude, awesome. Everybody loves him. Quiet guy, works hard, very humble. And everybody's got their personalities, but it's just always been great dude, great dude, great dude. And there have been times where I've been like, hey, I know you're interested. Hey, I'd love for you to get him. And then they ask, hey, what is he like? Well, just be mindful of this or that. I mean, you got to be honest. So
that's true.
For any players that are listening, you got to be a great teammate. And, managers and coaches aren't going to lie for you. I mean, maybe some will, but I won't. That's for sure, because then my name and my reputation, if I sell you a batch of goods and they say, this is the best kid in the world, and he gets there and he's just, he's just a douche. He's just the worst person. That comes right back on myself or any manager or coach that made that false recommendation. So be a good teammate. That's
it's sound advice. Hey, just a couple more left for you, Billy. I wanted to ask, I know this is an important initiative for you, and you're still doing this, creator and founder of Meet a Prospect. I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, I think it's just, again, outstanding what you're doing just in terms of that network for high school, collegiate, and professional athletes. I said you put it out there, assisted well over 300 baseball players receiving baseball contracts. Talk about, again, I mean, that's something that you have really prided yourself on and really paying it forward.
Yeah, paying it forward is what it's all about. And this offseason, as a matter of fact, we merged with a company called Scout Us Pro. Scout Us Pro. It is an app and a website, free for the athlete. And basically, all the athlete does is he just downloads the app in the App Store or for Android. Download the Scout Us Pro app. You put all your stuff in there, name, full bio, put all your analytical data. You can also put video on there. And what we're doing is we're getting managers and coaches from all over the world to be on the back end of the app to check out these guys. So we've probably got about 18 or 1900 players on the app right now. If you see some minor league stadiums during spring training, the Scout Us Pro app billboard is out there. We actually have one here out in right center field. And like you said, it's all about paying it forward. And it's been a real blessing working with these guys because, again, it's free for the player. It's totally free. So I've been fortunate enough to go and help out, with indie ball jobs, with the Black Sox. We've got somebody at the Frontier League workout today. We're at the California Winter League. We helped out with the Empire League. And these guys, they allow us to just come in and preach the word to these guys. And, we're not running events or anything of that nature. We did one event with the Baseball Scouting League where we partnered up with them, and we had 22 guys signed on the spot.
Wow.
Scout Us Pro and the Baseball Scouting League, they both sponsored probably over 100 players to attend. So that was really, really cool. And, working with all these guys, it's easy because I've been doing it for a long time. It's allowing us to have the floor to say, hey, you may not get signed at this event, but we have another avenue for you. So, www.scoutaspro.com and just download the app in the App Store, Scout Us Pro. It's been a blessing, working with Corey Wade, former Major League player. We've got a whole bunch of people that are on there just doing their thing, traveling the country and helping out. So that's been really, really solid.
Yeah, that's phenomenal to hear. I just was wondering, this journey that you've been on for so long, when you look back at where you started, and I remember, talking to you 4 years ago about it, in and out of baseball a couple of times, went back to your alma mater, I think Lynn University, pitching coach there for the national championship team in 2009. And then finally able to get that break, it said Can-Am League. And now here you sit as the manager of the Charleston Dirty Birds. What comes to your mind, Billy?
I think the main thing was that I finally decided to follow my passion. When I had gotten out of baseball, I was doing medical sales, I was doing business sales, I was making decent money or whatever. Yeah. But every Sunday night at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, I'm like, man, I got to go to the office tomorrow. Oh, it was terrible. And Brooks Carey introduced me to Hal Lanier back in early 2015 and had an opportunity to do this. And, I've been really fortunate to make a career out of it. I've got a very supportive wife, very supportive family that back me 1,000%. And I love it because I'm able to really help players, not only
Hmm.
on the field, but off the field, help them become better men, become a better father, become a better husband, become a better brother, a better teammate, whatever the case may be. In an independent baseball, like, how it is, you wear all the hats, like
Yeah.
uh, the man, obviously the manager, and I do the front office, this and that, but like, you're also the mental skills coach and all
Hmm.
things of that nature. So, and you never know what's going to happen. I have an open door policy, so guy might walk in, and it's happened so many times over the years where, they'll say, hey, I got to retire, or
Yeah.
hey, I've got a problem, with alcohol, or with drugs. I mean, or gambling. I mean,
Hmm.
those are just everyday parts of life that do happen. And,
Yeah.
it's really cool when a player confides in you as a manager or coach, to trust you enough with these certain issues. I had a guy one time, he got a girl pregnant. How do I handle it? And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, this is what I would do if this was my situation. So,
Yeah.
and that's what I love. There's no pressure or heat from the front office. So you can't talk to the player this is one big family,
Hmm.
so obviously as a manager, you feel like you're the father, you're the patriarch of the organization. So,
Yeah.
and again, if guys don't feel comfortable with me or any of the coaches, it is what it is. I mean, that's just the way it is. But, just letting these guys know that whatever they need, we're there for them. If they
Yeah.
need, help with getting a room on the road, their wife is coming, and we make adjustments, and, just whatever they need to succeed on the field and help them out in life, we're going to do it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, Bill, you're in a perfect spot. And, again, you offered so much needed advice for the players. But how about the guys wanting to get into the coaching ranks, just in terms of breaking in and just, moving up that ladder? What would you say to them out there as well?
A couple of things I would suggest would be, especially if they want to get in on the independent side, managers and coaches, they only hire guys that they know, guys that they trust, guys that can throw batting practice, and guys that can get players. It,
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter your baseball experience, per se, but I mean, you really don't see many guys in independent baseball that never played at some level, whether it's college, pro,
Hmm.
independent, foreign, or whatever the case may be. Obviously, if you want to get into coaching on, within a major league organization, all you need to do is know analytics and data, and you're probably going to get a job.
Yeah.
But it's very, very, very different here in independent baseball. Your spin rate, your exit velocity, that doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
Hmm.
We have to win. Our job is to win ball games. Obviously, moving players and making the team money and doing other things like that. It's something unique that I guess I bring to the table, which has helped keep me employed. And I know there are a lot of
Hmm.
other managers that do all that, but
Yeah.
I would suggest anytime you see that there's an event where it's like, oh, the Baseball Scouting League has an event, or the Black Sox have something, or there's a Scout Us Pro sponsored event, or there's the California Winter League, or the Frontier League, or Empire League, or whatever it is, or Atlantic League
Hmm.
tryout. I would try to get to those events if you can, because when you get there in person, that's when people get to know you. And if you go and you just volunteer, a couple of years ago, it was more than a couple now, I volunteered at the Arizona Diamondbacks workout when I was working at the Arizona Winter League.
Yeah. Yeah.
I threw batting practice. I hit fungos, and I didn't get a job out of it, but turned a couple of heads, had a couple of phone calls or whatever.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just sales 101. People
Yeah.
buy from people that they know, people that they like, and people that they trust. And they're going to do the same thing when it comes to hiring them.
Yeah.
I've known all of my coaches throughout my career. That's why I hired them. I know them and I trust them. I trust that
Hmm.
my coaching staff's not going to go and backstab me and try and get me fired.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And here's another thing. If anybody ever says, hey, just send me your resume, it is a very polite and professional way of saying you're not getting the job.
Yeah.
Sorry. Very polite. But
Yeah.
I also suggest, being active on social media. There have been so many guys that have hit me up on
Yeah.
LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and I try my best to respond to each and every single person,
Hmm.
and try and give any little bit of advice or whatever. And there have been guys that are kind of from the area here. I'm like, just, hey, come on out, just hang out, and we'll kind of get a feel for you. And, if we like you and we can sense that you're a good baseball guy and you're going to be doing the right things for the players, we'll try and get you an opportunity.
Yeah. Hey, before you get the final word here, Billy, I'm
Yeah.
wondering any memorable moments that really stick out to you, during the course of your baseball career that, you say you just, sit back, maybe it's during the off season and say, wow, that's just like, something that, that you've accomplished. Anything, that you can recall?
Well, obviously winning the Can-Am League championship.
Yeah.
And if Jamie Keefe gets a chance to see this, that year in 2016, I think we were like 4-19 against Rockland.
Yeah.
And yeah, they kicked our ass all over the place. We lost the first two games at home, and we're going for 3 in Rockland. And it was kind of a little bumming, but I remember the bus ride. I remember on the bus ride, and everyone was just like, "Don't let us win game 3. Don't let us win game 3." And we knew we had Austin Chrisman coming in for game 5 on short rest if we had gotten there. But the coolest thing, one of the coolest moments I've ever seen on a field was after we won the championship, both teams shook hands. And that was the respect that each team had for each other, and that was the respect of Jamie and their team showing to Hal, as just a legend in baseball. That was a really cool moment. And then every single time that I've been in the office, whether as a pitching coach, bench coach, or manager, when you bring in a guy in, perfect example, when I was in Normal and we had 3 guys picked up during the season and 1 after, and I try to get creative. And I brought a guy in and I says, hey, how you doing? How's everything? How's your family? I said, hey, I just want to let you know you can't pitch here anymore. And this is Matt Portland, a kid that I actually coached in a college summer league years before. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, you can't pitch for the Corn Belters anymore. You got to go. And he's like, and he had worked hard returning from an injury. And he's like, no. He's like, stop. And he started tearing up. And I'm getting like goosebumps now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, Chicago White Sox called. They bought your contract.
Wow.
And they started.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Little things like that. We had Ryan Lawler. Ryan Lawler was with us last year, but I also had him that same year. And if you know anything about Normal, the stadium there, they have the big cornfields, and you got to go down the hill. And we were working this deal the whole time with the Cubs for Ryan Lawler back in 2018, and we got the deal done. And it was like when pitchers were working out, it was like 2:00 in the afternoon, and I went out there and I'm like, "Whoa, hey guys, hey Ryan Lawler, stop throwing! You can't throw here. What? Whoa! You're no longer an employee." And nobody knew. He's like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, dude, you don't pitch for us. And he's like, what? I said, dude, you pitch for the Chicago Cubs. And all the boys just went bananas. So little things like that are the moments, like another cool one, like Jared Mitchell got married last year, invited me to his wedding. Like little things like that, where when you get that text message just saying, hey, Merry Christmas, hey, Happy Thanksgiving, or my birthday's in June, and players text me all the time, hey, Billy, Merry Christmas, hope you're doing well, or when guys use you for a reference. Chris Iriart, another one of my former players, got picked up a couple of years later, applied to be a cop, and they used me as a reference. And funny story, I was actually heading out to California, and I saw a California number calling me. I'm like, it's probably one of my buddies, and it was the Irvine Police Department. I'm like, oh my God, I'll come. And they said, hey, we're Chris Iriart, he used you as a reference. And on my life, I swear to God, one of my buddies has a facility in Huntington Beach, my boy Derek Evans. And that guy that I had spoken with to give the reference for Chris was going to that facility the same night because his son hits with my buddy Chris.
Oh wow.
It was mind-blowing. It was just crazy. Yeah, it just shows you how small the world is. But little things like that, man. And the kid, he's a cop now. He's been a cop for a year or two, whatever it's been. But when guys, Kevin Segrist, reached out last year after he retired and used me as a rep, just little things like that. It shows you, like, man, these guys really appreciate and respect what we do for them, and they understand everything we're trying to do to help them out. So that's really awesome when you see your players again become a better man, a better father, a better husband, move on to a different career, or move to the big leagues, which is everybody's goal. So
Yeah.
Those are the special moments.
Yeah, no, just building those relationships and those life skills are so vital. That's great to hear. Hey Billy, I wanted to give you the final word of message here. Family, friends, of course, past players, coaches, management, teams that you've worked under, are really well deserved. And I just wanted to. I'm sure there are a lot of people that you do want to thank here.
Oh, I can't even tell you where to begin. Obviously the old cliches, your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters. And I'll tell you, they have been really supportive. Even when I was playing in Italy or when I was playing independent baseball, it was always like, I never got the, why are you doing this? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? I don't understand. And having that support, from my wife and my two little dogs, Winston and Sophia, and all my extended family, you got your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your aunts, uncles, and cousins. But then I've been so fortunate to work with and under Hal Lanier, Butch Hobson, Stan Clyburn, Brooks Carey, Tim Johnson, Jamie Keefe, Frank Viola, Kevin Baez. I mean, there's been so many people that I've been fortunate enough, to work with and for, the Long Island Ducks, High Point Rockers, Normal Corn Belters, Ottawa Champions. Obviously now, the Charleston Idiots. That's what we call our fantasy football league name. They're a bunch of idiots, and we call it the Charleston Idiots. But, the Charleston Dirty Birds organization has been nothing but fantastic to myself and my family. And the players. We wouldn't be where we are without the players. And for these guys to buy in and really listen to and the agents also, to literally sign a contract and come here and put the fate of your career in our hands, the fate of the next 6 months of your life in our hands, man, that says a lot, especially if we don't know the person personally. Everything is kind of done, via phone call or maybe a Zoom or something like that, or a FaceTime. But, for guys to put their careers in our hands, man, that's really special.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Really special.
Hey, Billy, an absolute true honor and privilege being able to speak with the interview, to come back here 4 years later and be able to do this on Zoom. That's how much, the technology is advanced. But, I said, congrats on your success, especially here as the manager of the Charleston Dirty Birds, and wishing you the rest of the team. I said all the best in the regular season opener. Friday, April 28th, at Staten Island, and of course with the home opener on May 9th versus Lancaster. And can't wait to see what you guys do here in the 2023 season.
Me too. It's been a long off season. Listen, when you don't make the playoffs, it's a long off season. So, but thank you again so much for having me on. I always appreciate our talks, and anytime you need tickets, you just text me and we'll get you in for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks.